Can speakers be made to fill the room? Well, they kind of do already. But let's find out a little deeper into the question here. And it comes from Hoyt in Fredericksburg, Virginia. Speakers and walls. Ugh. I don't have room to pull speakers away from the wall. Never have. This is a long one here. All right, let's see what we got. Never have, and won't as long as I stay married. I like it. I used to own Allison speakers, the corners, Allison 3s. They were 3-ways, and they sounded great. 4-foot-high floor standers. They only cost about $1,300 for a pair, but they had great balance, bass, and threw an amazing soundstage and image all over the room. I couldn't sit in my special chair to get a focused effect, but I could almost sit anywhere in front of the speaker. Granted, I couldn't pick out where on stage the clarinetist was sitting, but I got a big, wide, diffuse feeling like I get in an actual concert hall. All instruments mixed together, but everything sounded so big. Who cares if you can't pick out the clarinet? I don't. I do. Anyway, we'll get to that. I want a big, diffuse, but accurate sound that anyone in the room can enjoy from any chair. Music is about sharing, and as you know, early bows used to be based on the same idea back when they made pretty good stuff. If PS Audio is going to build new speakers, and we are, I highly recommend you consider at least one model that does this, a model for the corner. And if you want speakers on the wall, just buy 2 sets of corners and butt them up against each other in the flat wall. Bingo, and then you would dominate the marketplace. Woo! Market domination, that's what we want, yes, dominate. Well, okay, so let's kind of talk about that. We got a whole bunch of stuff going on here. First, your question raised the hair on the back of my neck. Who wants to know where a clarinetist is in the orchestra? Me, I do, and a number of people do. Now, you may not, and that's okay. That's perfectly fine. One of the things I love about our hobby, our sport, our passion, is that it means something different to every single person. Now, how cool is that? I mean, I can't think of a sport or what do we want to call what we do? I just call it our passion. That can mean so many different things to so many different people and still bring joy and value. So, hey, if cranking up a pair of corner horns, which fills the room and you can't tell where one musician is sitting from another, floats your boat, done. Because that's great. It's music. I mean, this is what we're all into. Okay, so we all have different wants and needs, and I'm just blabbering on about what I want and need. So in its purest form, most speakers at a decently loud level fill the entire room. But I think what you're really getting at is not filling the room so much. What you want is to be able to walk around and be able to get an image pretty much anywhere that you are in the room. And yes, a set of corner horns can help do that. And the farther apart they are, if they're on either corner of the room, then obviously, anywhere you are in the room, your ear is going to get the left and the right, as opposed to this setup here, which as I move closer over here, I still get the left and the right, but it's because they're pointing straight out, because they're not at angles like a big set of headphones, then they're not going to present the kind of large sweet spot that I believe you're referring to. These speakers, these are just little, I don't know what they are. They're ERAs, I think. They're just a convenient speaker that we're up in the sales office and they play and they have a turntable and a little sprout and it sounds good. And still, these speakers image, and they image in the way that I want and the way the sales guys like, which is if you sit in the middle seat, over to the left, over to the right a little bit, you'll hear an image and it'll appear behind the speakers, as it should, with a proper soundstage, and yes, you can tell where the clarinetist is. I ain't letting that one go. All right, so the opening line that you had about putting them up against the wall, that's kind of near and dear to my heart, because in almost all high-end audio setups, true high-end audio setups, if you want imaging, you're going to pull your speakers out away from the wall, and guess what? It's hard to stay married to a faithful person who, whichever side of the gender pool you're on, most couples want to have a living space that is easy to live in, and we don't live in our listening rooms, right? So it's always a real problem. I mean, the few times in my life, and I've done this for how many years, right? Decades and decades, the few times that I've actually had a stereo system in our living room, I wasn't allowed to pull them way out as they should be, about a third of the way from this wall. Terry would have had my hide. Why? Well, I mean, it's a living room. We like to live in the room, as it suggests. So I always chose a den or somewhere else where I could kind of take it over, and I didn't invade in the space. That said, most high-end audio speaker, in fact, almost every loudspeaker that I'm aware of, with the few exceptions of, I think the Allisons might have been one, some name speakers might have been, where they were actually designed to go up against the rear wall, but that's rare. But it's something that I want to tackle. In our new loudspeakers, I'm not going to compromise sound quality, never will do that. But if there's a way that we could tailor the crossover to accommodate near wall listening and still have the depth that we want, then I think that's a lofty goal that we need to work on. And I really want to do that. Why? Well, dominate the industry. No, the reason is I want to be able to fit into people's homes, right? So our speakers are going to be bigger and they'll be prettier than this thing. But if they have to sit out here, we've just eliminated 80 or 90% of the people that are likely to put it in their houses. I don't want to do that. I'd like it to be something where they could be a foot or two from the wall, fit into a decor, and present a soundstage that is phenomenal. Now, wouldn't that be cool? So that's our goal. I think I have a very good idea how to do that, but it'll have to be adjustable. So you'll have to measure 2 feet, and then you'll set a dial on the back to 2 feet, and that'll readjust the crossover to match. That's at least what's up here. So I'm not sure I completely answered your question, but it's what's rattling around in my head today. So thank you for the question. Maybe there was some insight in there. And I will talk to you all tomorrow. Bye.